Yes?
The struggling, the spiritual struggling.
Yeah.
I think it's a challenge for me. And I came back here with a really lovely freshness.
Yes.
And in the morning I just walked up on the mountain. I found a beautiful place. There was so much happiness. It's so difficult not to want that experience again.
Yeah.
And I mean, I know I expect it. So I say, don't expect it, but I still go back to the same place in the mountain, and I expect it. It's like just to accept it or what?
Yes. Right. The tendency then is, when you have a nice experience of that, to think, what did I do exactly before that brought this experience about? And then try to reproduce it by doing the same thing, and most of the time it just doesn't quite work. Because nothing wrong going back to the same spot if you have found a nice spot. Nothing wrong with setting the stage that the possibility is easier, but that peacefulness you experienced, that sense of fulfillment, is not the fruit, it's not the result of your doings. It's the result of not standing in the way, of letting it come out. It's always there. Whatever spot you are on, it's there. If you find a spot where it's easier to let go, you can go back to the spot. Don't think, okay, that spot is going to do it for me. If you have done certain exercises and then suddenly it happens, then don't think that it's those exercises that brought it about. It's very helpful to have a regular practice. It gives a lot of insight. We're becoming much more aware of what's going on. And the more you become aware where we are creating the obstacles. Practice is not to gain enlightenment. Practice is not for self-realization. It's not the result of your practice. Practice is to become aware of the obstacles that we are creating and learn not to do that anymore. And then things happening by themselves, effortlessly. So struggling spiritually, if you can't help it, struggle. By all means. If you go on struggling, then eventually you may be capable of letting go. If you just can consciously start to let go and let go and let go, then you need not yet. You don't feel it's a terrible struggle. But if you can't help it, struggle. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about. I've been struggling for a long time. I couldn't help it. That's how my character was. And when I came to my teacher, she didn't say, hey, let go. She saw that's how I function, so can't help it. So she said, yes, more, increase. If you have somehow the will to pull it through like that, eventually the whole structure will come tumbling down. But it's a painful business. And the aspect that matters when you struggle is that at least in that way you bring your attention to the present. At least in that way you become more aware of what's going on. But we are creating all the time to create obstacles. But we can do it also in a very playful, joyous way. We don't have to create artificial extra pain. There's a lot enough coming out from the subconscious that we have to deal with. Так.
If I can find some place where I feel more struggling and more pain, is it better for my spiritual growth, or is it better to find place where much more smoother and lighter?
You don't have to run after places where you have to struggle. But you don't have to always run, be on the run, running away from them. Then if we do that, we can run and run and run, and wherever you go, there is always that thing that comes in nagging and nagging. If you can choose, by all means, choose there where you feel at ease. But many times you may not be able to choose and find yourself in places that you don't really like. And then all the time just thinking, I have to get out, then you're making it really painful and heavy. And if you can learn to accept, okay, situation is not exactly to my liking, so what? You deal with it, whatever is necessary, it comes, you deal with it, it goes, then it doesn't create a problem. But it's not that you have to think that you should go now into places where you are not at ease, where you have to struggle in order to advance. By all means, find a spot that is somehow resonating to you, if you can. If you can, accept with what you have. I heard the story of one, I think the first Zen master who went to America. First he didn't have any means, so he had just a little room under a bridge where the trains are always going, and his room was shaking, and with every train that was going there, he was doing his sadhana there, and eventually things started to develop, and he got a nice place, and people would come there. But so you don't have to run after such things, but you don't have to always think, this should be different, this should be different. You can go on and on and on and on. Yes?
I would like to deepen this question a little bit. For example, we talk about pilgrimage.
Да, Арунachal возьмем, да, получится Арунachal, здесь вроде бы хорошо живется, но в то же время здесь очень много всего всплывает.
If we talk about Arunachala, people come here and they have a good life here, but at the same time there are a lot of things that come to the surface.
Yes.
И, например, я имею там дом у себя, там где-то в деревне, где там спокойно, хорошо, и там всплывает не так много всего.
For example, I have a house somewhere in the village, and life is easy and smooth there, and not so many things come out.
Here around.
No, somewhere there in the village.
Yeah.
Как мне вот поступать? То
What should I
есть
do?
ехать на Арунachal, чтобы
Should I come here?
пытаться здесь как бы быстрее вырасти, или как хотя бы попытаться, либо сидеть там дома и спокойненько медитировать.
Okay, what should I do? Should I stay at home and have my quiet, peaceful life? Or come here, even knowing that all those but I probably here I would have faster development.
See, my husband and I have the same.
Well, then stay together.
We can choose.
It's already challenging in him.
очередь.
It depends what you are doing with your time.
Всё зависит от того, как вы проводите свое время. На что вы тратите.
If you are alert,
Если вы осознанны,
then by all means stay in your peaceful place.
то, конечно же, оставайтесь в своем
But if you have the tendency in the peaceful place to just go a bit to sleep and float along, then maybe it's good for you to come sometimes and have good confrontations.
Возможно, будет хорошей идеей прийти куда-то в такое место, где будет...
But what counts is that you are awake. That
Главное быть бдительным.
just stay in your peaceful place, but start your day with the intent that you want to remember connecting consciously.
Помните, осознанно соединяться.
Whenever you become aware how much the attention is floating all over the place, that at that time you turn back.
В то же самое мгновение возвращайтесь.
Not when you become aware that you think, okay, I'm finishing this and that, and then maybe I'll try it. But the moment you become aware how much time has passed, you didn't have really a conscious moment. At that moment, you just come back here now and relax and let go in. Start your day intending that you want to remember. As long as we don't remember, nothing can be done. But the moment you remember, you can immediately use that chance, or you can get lost again. You can also get lost by thinking, oh my God, so much time has passed, and in spite of all the years, I'm not getting anywhere. And there you are again, totally in the story. Or you can postpone it. Think, okay, but I'm too busy now. The moment you become aware, oh, okay, my attention has gone all over the universe except being aware of being aware, except being aware of being alive, except being really in touch with that beauty, with that current, then you just come back home at that moment, whether you are alone or whether you are with people, whether you keep quiet or whether you are talking, whether you are sitting or whether you are walking. And if you do that consequently, then you are using your time perfectly well, no matter whether you are in the peaceful village or here. On top of it, you have each other.
Не очень спокойно, да?
With all the challenges that come along.
Вызовов будет происходить.
I mean, the village here in India? Or? No, back in Russia. If you feel like coming, if you feel that pull, then come. But what matters is not so much whether you are staying here or there, but whether you are sincere about it, of connecting again and again until it starts to happen by itself, effortlessly. But nothing wrong when you feel, oh, would be good to charge a bit the batteries. If you have the opportunity, come here, stay some time. Many people do so. Some people come here, think, Arunachala is going to do the job for me. It's not quite happening. Many people do so, come again and again, stay for some time, getting strengthened. Then they go back and try to bring that attitude as good as you can in their daily life, wherever they are. And it may be very helpful, that going to and fro.